This is the date with the girl that you saw the pickup of in the previous breakdown clip. It's been now probably about a month or so. I was traveling a lot. We kept in touch via the phone. She also followed me a little bit on Snapchat, that kind of stuff. But she's now, come around. We've agreed a date. If you want the text conversation, that's in like the supplemental material, so you can check them out there. But let's look at the date. Basically, we're meeting up at a hotel for a drink. It's not a hotel for a drink. It's a bar that's attached to a hotel for a drink. And she's just come off of. Just gotten off work. She came and met me, and here we go. Oh shit! I thought you were like a big group. I thought you were like a family over here.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. All right.
Oh man, you look all so much more like professional and worky than last time I saw you. Yeah. Go this way. We just go we go through here. We can go through here. It'll work. Oh man. So how was the office? Wasn't bad? I was pumping here actually. Actually, do you want to go inside or you want to go out on the patio? Inside or out on the patio?
Is it warm?
I think there's heat lamps. So it's moderate. If you're at all cold, we'll go inside. Let's go inside. Right. We'll stay inside. Right. So let's talk logistics. So I was staying at this hotel. So I wanted to do a date somewhere nearby. I actually didn't want to do it in the same hotel. I thought there were a couple good places I could go nearby where I could just grab the drink there and then we could maybe come back for the second drink in the hotel. I think that's a much better logistic. But as it turned out, I looked around briefly ahead of time. I was kind of running late, trying to find out the logistics. And it turns out I wasn't able to find anywhere really good, so I just went in the hotel bar. And then I'd already told her to meet me at the hotel because that was just the best landmark that I could give her. So I kind of just pulled an audible and we did it right here. The outdoor probably would have been a better venue in general for ambiance and for filming and whatnot, but it was a little chilly, so I just went with what was comfortable, and so we went with the indoor venue. But it worked out okay. It wasn't ideal. This isn't the type of venue I would normally want to do for a drink, but if you have good game, you can overcome bad venue. The key idea here, though, is you do want the logistics to be close to somewhere you can pull her home from. The last thing you want to do is meet halfway between you and her where it's an ordeal to get back to your place, an ordeal to get back to her place. The ideal is to meet near your place. And in fact, under certain conditions, I'll actually turn down a date if I can't get good logistics on it, because I don't like dates that can't lead to sex. I hate it when things are going really, really well, and then you have to be like, okay, well, cool, catch you next time, and we'll do a second date. Because a lot of times, if she was really aroused and got really turned on, she's going to be nervous about the second date because she feels like it's going to be for sure sex. And she'll actually get flakiness out of that. Never mind the fact that it's just going to take you 2 evenings instead of 1, and time is valuable, etc. So anyway, that's my little discussion on logistics. Madame, I will be your mitzvah. Anything you want, I would just, I would take care of you. This evening, you're in my capable hands.
I will do gin and tonic.
Gin and tonic?
Yeah.
Okay. You have a very cute laugh, by the way. I said you have a very cute laugh, by the way.
Oh, thanks. Did I laugh already? I didn't even notice.
Yeah, well, I'm usually boring, so I'll take what I can get. Gin and tonic?
Gin and tonic. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, done. I'll be right back.
Thank you.
So it's interesting. Did I laugh already? She says she's not laughing a lot, but she is giggling. And the more important thing is she's laughing when I haven't said anything that funny, right? So this is a pretty good indicator that she likes me. And then also, I wasn't even remotely offended. It wasn't like she remotely even said anything wrong. She went out of her way. It's no, I'm just kidding. She's obviously very reactive to me because of a good initial interaction, because of good text type stuff going on, because she liked, I was traveling, so my Snapchat looked really good. I think she got very bought into me and got very caught up in thinking I'm really a cool person and have a lot of good things going on. So she showed up on the date pretty excited, and it's clear to see that she's already pretty into me. Hey, can we do a gin and tonic and then an amaretto sour?
No amaretto.
Okay, in that case, do you have raspberry, actually do a Dirty Shirley?
You said what?
Dirty Shirley? Like a Shirley Temple with vodka?
Sure.
Yeah. So in a moment, you're gonna have to explain to me exactly what it is you do, because I am.
Well, I am reading work emails.
Are you really? Oh my god.
I'm always.
All right. So I'm gonna take that to me, and I just asked about your work, and your implication is it's gonna get messy. Got it.
No. So I work for.
So this looks very platonic, very typical, very get to know you, and that's fine. Like I've said in previous date breakdowns that I've done, I don't want a really high energy start to the date. I like it low energy. I like it to ramp up over time. The big thing is she's already showed up, right? She's already decided to commit an evening to me. She's already decided she likes me enough for that. I don't have to prove myself anymore. And if I go in with the idea of proving myself, I'm going to come off low value and try hard. All right? So I'm just going to be chill, enjoy it. Just try and enjoy the experience, have a good time, and let it play out naturally. And if anything, I want her to be asking me questions and trying to get to know me, okay? So that's how I run my dates, and it's extremely, extremely effective. It doesn't look as flashy at the start, but it looks really good towards the end, and the percentage that you will take home will go through the roof.
It's fun. I love it. Now what do you do?
Now what do I do? I'm still curious about you, but okay. I do a bunch of different stuff.
You travel a lot.
I do travel a bit, yes. So I started as a professional poker player. Made some amount of money doing that. Rolled that into an investment business, and then while I was kind of getting that going, I did sort of like a media business where I did videos, publishing, marketing a little bit, that kind of stuff. So now I kind of do the investing and then the media stuff here and there. The investing's the main thing going forward, but the media and marketing stuff's good because it allows the travel. So it's like, hey, I want to go to Europe. Let me just arrange an event in Europe and then we can go. Or I want to go to San Francisco, same kind of thing. So, it's an interesting. You have the most adorable, blushy face right now. Yeah. But it's good though. It's sort of a lifestyle business in the sense that it makes. It's not the most lucrative it could be, but it definitely makes for a good, fun life. And then the finance stuff that's kind of the financial end game.
If you have fun and you love what you do, then does it matter?
I think I can say yes to those. Yeah.
How is
everywhere.
Yeah.
Did you travel a bit, or are you just you're like the I long to travel, or the I have traveled a bit, or what's the?
I'll get there.
I'll get there. How old are you again?
23.
All right.
What are you?
You're like youngish. The opposite?
Yeah.
What, 32? That's an opposite now? That's cute. You're close actually.
35.
Oh, you went up instead of down. I'm offended. No, it was really nice meeting you. You should go.
What is it?
Huh? 34.
Close.
Yeah, I give you shit for almost being right. I expected the funny thing is most people say 27 for me, or 28.
I mean, I wouldn't think that you were 34, but I remember you telling me before. I couldn't remember exactly what it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So continue with your adventures.
So as you can see, it's still get to know you, but now I'm trying to convey, some impressive qualities, without trying very hard. We've talked about that in some of the other breakdowns. There's a little more teasing going on, so there's that. And you can tell she's very intrigued with the whole travel thing. And how did that get set up? That gets set up through good texting, good use of Snapchat, that kind of stuff. So I did my homework, my groundwork, building up to the date so that she came with a good expectation and a good vibe about her. It's kind of all over the place.
Definitely all over the place.
Yeah, I literally don't know what to do with you. You're very adorable. I don't know. You just smile and laugh at everything. You either have nothing to say, or you have a very happy demeanor. I'm not quite sure which. You're yeah.
Both.
All right. Fair
No,
enough.
I'm just always happy, smiling, positive.
Not a bad way to be.
No.
It's definitely better than the alternative. If you showed up and you were like all downer and like miserable and grumpy and like crying, I'd be like, well, sorry.
See you later.
Yeah. So yeah, this work thing came up. I didn't want to like leave you hanging. It's been so, but I guess you really gotta go. I hope you don't hate me. Listen, rain check for never.
Forever. That's a good one.
I feel like I just turned on sales girl in you right now. You're like, oh, we have a variety of features. You can check column A, column B. You see the. You just turned into like Vanna White, like the however old she is now, 70-year-old Wheel of Fortune girl.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know. I don't know how to separate work.
like yes, we have 3 E's.
There you go.
Oh, you've seen the show? It's
Yeah.
good. I'm surprised that show's still on. That show was on when I was a freaking 4-year-old.
Yeah, it's still on. I don't know who watches, but they're obviously getting ratings.
I just love it that they haven't changed the girl and like that. Seriously, that girl is like, I don't know. I haven't watched it recently, but if you can still stay looking good at like 70 or however old she must be by now.
I think there's a new girl up there.
Really?
I think there's a new girl.
You know what they probably did? They named some new girl Vanna White, and then they just like, oh, we still have Vanna White.
She's I think there's a new girl up there.
I'm actually curious. This is the dumbest thing to Google because it doesn't really matter, but I'm actually just genuinely curious right now.
No, I research everything that I don't know. And when I know something, I research.
How old is? Oh, she's not 70. She's 60. So I guess it's not that bad. 59 years old. Still, for being like a spokesmodel on TV,
Yeah.
not so bad. I mean, Vanna White, Hillary Clinton, both. Oh wait, no, she's 69. Never mind. That's 10 years different. Maybe in 10 years she'll look like Hillary Clinton. Who knows? Sorry. So even though there have been occasional little bits of teasing, if you look at this, does this look like a date that's going to end in sex? No, it probably doesn't, right? In fact, a lot of your dates are probably better than this, right? In a lot of ways, they look more sexual, they look more on. What does this look like, though? This looks like 2 friends who know each other, who are comfortable together getting along, right? That's what it looks like. And to be fair, that's the more important thing. Because the sexual stuff, I can inject that over time. I know how to do it, right? I know there are 4 ways to escalate. I know how to do invisible escalation. I know how to push things forward slowly. I know how to go from I to you to we. Because I have confidence in my ability to escalate, I don't need to rush it. The most important thing is going to be, is the general vibe good? Is it comfortable? And is she enjoying things? If that's good, I'll figure out the escalation part. I'll wait for the windows. I'm not going to try and force them. The windows will come up. The windows will present themselves. So I'm not in a rush, okay? Most guys are in such a rush to sexualize it, such a rush to make it man to woman. Or if they get in this kind of a situation where it seems boring, they'll start being in their head, be like, oh, guys, it's boring, it's platonic, I have to do something, and they'll start taking crazy risks verbally and start qualifying themselves. Relax. Relax and trust that things are okay. Again, trust the fact that the date is a social construct that basically forces her to spend a certain amount of time with you. Right? She'd be extremely rude not to. So even if it's not going the greatest, she'll stay and hang out with you. And in this case, it's not going badly. She's still enjoying the conversation, right? It's not like she's like hating every minute of it. It's fine. It's good. Relax. Take your time. Be patient. So critical to have that outlook, to have that confidence that you can escalate later if you need to.
You drink fast. I'm a slow drinker.
Take your time. It's better that way. That way, you know, you won't be able to get me drunk and take advantage of me. It's much better.
I'll down it in like 2 minutes.
Oh shit, girls got plans. I mean, I like you. I think you're cute too. But like, let's get to know each other a little bit, please.
Oh, you're funny. So,
You look so thoughtful right now. Like the hamster's like running around really, really fast on the wheel.
oh gosh. So you have like employees. Like, what do they do?
So now you'll notice I'm adding in a little more banter, a little more teasing, a little more sexual implication, a little more frame control, that kind of stuff. But it's not forced, right? So there'll be little intervals where it's going to be more flirty, and then there'll be intervals where it'll be more logical and platonic and chill, and then it'll be more flirty and more platonic and chill, and that's fine, right? That's normal. That's how it's supposed to go. It's not supposed to be flirt, flirt, flirt all the time. It's not supposed to be logical and chill all the time. It's supposed to go back and forth. And they're all my like really good friends. That's the best part of it, is like I get to employ my very good friends and hang out with them and whatnot, but also like help them like lift them up where they belong and such.
That's good. Friends that help friends get ahead.
I feel like okay, so funny thing about me. So I'm not the most like nice to strangers, but once you're like in the circle, you're like in the circle for life. If that makes sense. And I will like
nice to strangers?
I didn't say I'm not nice. I'm not the nicest. Like I'm not mean to strangers, but I don't go out of my way for strangers. But for people like in my like circle, I will like go to the ends of the earth for them. I feel like it's a trade-off, right? Because the time I don't spend going out of my way for strangers, I can go out of my way for like friends and family and people I really care about.
Yeah. That's how it should be.
Yeah. That's my excuse for just being a global asshole. It's fine.
I mean,
I'm kidding.
I'm nice to you.
You're nice to all people, is that what you said? So I'll go into this in a lot more depth when I do the women layer breakdown, because this is very much a social proof type of a concept. But just note that not only am I not going out of my way to not be considered an asshole, I actually intentionally brought up the idea of me being an asshole. Okay? Be aware of that. I'm being polarizing, I'm taking risks, and I'm certainly trying to convey myself in a particular way. Again, we'll go into more detail about that in the women layer, but just be aware of it for now.
But when I'm working, I don't micromanage, but
Wait, do you have like people that...
I am kind of like a...
Do you have people that answer to you?
But if I tell you to do something and then you don't do it right, I make you do it all over again.
That's how it's going to be between us, huh?
Maybe. Maybe not. Because I told you already.
I was about to say the most inappropriate thing, but I just wanted to say because it was clever.
Say it.
You're insatiable. It's a good thing I'm good. So now I've massively sexualized things, and I will talk about this in the verbal layer a bit. But again, notice that I did it in a way where I made her ask me for the thing to say. Instead of just dropping this huge like escalation into the conversation, I phrased it, I structured it so that she asked me to say it, so that when I say it, there's no risk involved. I'm not guilty of saying it because I was actually trying not to say it, and she said, say it, right? So it takes all the blame off of me, but it still has all the effect as if, I took the risk as well.
Oh, gosh, Todd. What's your last name?
What's my last name? You always wondered it?
Yes. Because I always put last names in my phone.
I think you told me that when we met too. I think I intentionally was like, nope. You'll have to get to know me as a person. I know no, you have to get to know me as a person. I was like, I want to be known as me.
You put Todd V.
There you go.
What is it?
It's my last name, V.
No,
That's my last initial.
it's a good thing I don't have another Todd in my phone.
Well, if you ever get another Todd, if you happen to get a Todd better than me, you better marry him immediately, because it doesn't exist. But if you did, yeah. I'm like the benchmark. If you ever find anyone better than me, you found the best. Well, I'm not claiming I'm the best, I'm just claiming that anyone better than me would be the best. So you can imply from that whatever you'd like.
Okay. I'll take it and I'll think about it.
Alright. So I have to, I literally, well, I'll let you drink. I have to do this. So I have to
touch it?
I have to, yes, I have to feel what this is all about, because it's such unusual, okay.
What? It's a new
I'm done feeling you up now. Huh?
What?
No, it's just because it has the interesting. So now I've broken the layer or the barrier of physical escalation, right? I just touched her. She had a weird scarf. I touched her scarf, but you'll notice this is a trend, a pattern that I've done in a lot of the date type scenarios, which is that I'll use an interesting item. I'll just make a casual gesture. I'll start with very light, innocuous touch, innocuous physicality, and then if that's okay, I'll do something a little more bold, a little more daring, and if that's okay, I'll do something a little stronger, etc. So I'm constantly escalating, but I'm escalating in tiny little pieces that can't be rejected. And a lot of times I will come up with an excuse for the first few physical escalations so that there actually is no blame assigned to me because of them. And stuff. I was curious, like, what it like.
Oh, no, it's like.
I thought it was gonna be like really like extremely puffy and like extremely warm, actually.
Yeah, it's just very obnoxious.
Right. So it's a little unique and obnoxious.
Yeah.
So it suits you.
Unique but obnoxious. Thanks.
You're welcome.
No, this scarf, like, see, I'm a bit of a perfectionist.
Are you unraveling it?
No, I'm fixing it.
Okay. So now you'll notice we're still having small talk-ish, but now it's small talk about her and about me, and not in a factual way, not about what do you do for a living, what are the facts of your life. Now it's more about personality, about, you know, our feelings on things, that kind of stuff. So the level of intimacy of the conversation has subtly increased, right? I'm also flirting a bit more. So I'm taking that sort of like very platonic, calm interaction, and I'm gradually, very slowly ramping it up to something more intense, more sexual, etc. But it's a very, very slow progression. The idea is that I want that progression to be so slow she doesn't even know it's happening. It feels like it just happened. If you ever heard a girl say that, it just happened, that's how they want sex to occur. It just happened. One thing led to another. They didn't have any fault in the matter. They didn't it wasn't a jarring event for them. It just smoothly occurred. So this is, you can tell, it's very slowly ramping up towards sex.
I just messed that one up. Usually if I go like this, it fixes. Well, not today. I'll just hide it. But yeah, I'm a bit of a perfectionist.
I see. Well, for me today, just be you. You don't have to be perfect. Just be interesting. It's essentially my criteria. I don't expect the world of people. I just want.
I'm really boring.
It's really nice meeting you. I'm sure you have to get up early in the morning, so I think you should probably head home to wherever it is you live, and yeah. But I want you to know, it was really wonderful meeting you. It's not you, it's me. I'm just really. I mean, you're still looking great. You look like you're in shape and everything. You've been, you're in the gym. You're good. Oh, you like flex for me. Let's see.
No, I have no muscle.
You just did like a second ago. You're like, I'll do it, just not on command.
No, my upper body, like I don't have.
That little fake breakup is one of like my favorite moves to do. It's a great disqualifier, but it's fun and like funny and teasing enough that it can't quite be taken seriously. But at the same time, it kind of can, right? Because I happen to know all the cliches of how to break up with someone. I happen to like be well versed in all the culture of breaking up, et cetera, et cetera. So it conveys that, you know, I've known girls, I've had relationships, I've probably been the one to break up, which most guys haven't. Most of the time the guys get broken up with. So it's it's very powerful in what it's conveying. It's also really powerful in the form of that it is a disqualifier. But again, it's so light and casual and teasing that she can't really get offended by it, but she still has a bit of the feelings associated with it.
Have any like arm strength? If that's
all right.
a word. No, I really don't. It looks like it. But
It's like have you seen like the Bugs Bunny cartoons where he flexes and it goes like down? And you're like,
that's me. Only the flab isn't there. But yeah, I don't have any.
nice. I just got the most not sexy picture of your arm. Yeah, it's like in the 1990s when I grew up. I don't know. You're like you're like nine.
It's not that big of a difference. Well, okay, yes, it is. But it's not.
Okay.
It's not.
So I don't know if we're gonna get along. It's just like the pop culture references. I'll say like some Saved by the Bell shit, and you'll be like, "What is that?"
I like Saved by the Bell. I'm not that.
What was it like growing up? What did we have? We had like Saved by the Bell, Freshman's of Bel Air. We had Animaniacs. I don't know if you have that. That was like the euphoria time. You're like, what is that?
No, that's what the three little
Yeah, the three little like
Yeah, it was
cartoony
on
mice things.
WB or something like that. Yeah, I remember that.
All right.
What
Fair
else?
enough. What else? I'm trying to think like shows I would have known as a kid that you wouldn't. Like Family Matters, which is like you'd have to watch that on rerun because I watched that one on rerun. You know what a period show? Okay, Seinfeld. You're old enough to know that.
You gotta find one that I don't know.
How you like Miss Pop Culture? You probably know stuff I don't know from my time period in that case. I didn't even watch TV as a kid actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a nerd.
I started off as a nerd.
Yeah.
Not even. I was like a little tomboy actually. Like
Lightning legs, tomboy.
Even even my girlfriend, she's like, you've changed since high school. Like, I was like a not a tomboy, but I like wearing sneakers. Like now, I don't wear any sneakers unless I'm working out, and I'm just much more girly.
I was like,
you've changed, but in a good way.
You have the most adorable facial expressions right when you like finish sentences. Like you finish
Am I
and then
doing my eyebrow thing?
I don't know. I'm gonna probably start note. I hadn't even looked at your eyebrows since whatever. But
Well, the last time I saw you were like, "Can you stop doing that with your eyebrows?" I don't know what I was.
is that why you're wearing? So she remembers stuff about our initial meeting, like things that I said a month ago. That's crazy, right? If girls have like way too keen of a memory of you, that means they've been thinking about you a lot. That means they've been kind of like developing a crush on you, right? There's this old phrase, it says like, love isn't something anyone does to you, it's something you do to yourself, right? Falling in love, right? So no one makes you fall in love, you make yourself fall in love by obsessing and going over things and fantasizing and visualizing and assigning significance to things. The fact that she remembers that means that she's been doing that a little bit. This is a massive, massive indicator of interest, right? It shows really, really good signs of, how she thinks of me, that she has thought of me a lot, those types of things. So far, this has been ramping up pretty nicely. She's enjoying the flirtation. Things are going really well. She clearly likes me. But then this is an indicator she really likes me, or at least she's really like assigned a lot of significance to me. Your hair over your face, you're like covering one of them.
You can see this.
Wait, let me see. Let's see what we're gonna.
Yeah.
Right, now I can tell you. Perfect. Now I can actually see what we're working with.
Hopefully, I'm not doing the eyebrow thing.
Okay.
Usually, I don't know. Maybe I was just a bit sassy that night. I was party girl that night.
I have no objections to sassy.
Sassy
So
is
here's a before your time. It's before my time too, though. So there was once upon a time a man named Walter Winchell. Walter Winchell, not Windshield. Like Winchell's donut, like Winchell. Okay. He didn't the guy, but anyway. Winchell. Yeah, okay. Walter Winchell. And he was possibly the most influential news person of all time. Mm-hmm. So he was, before TV, he was like the king of radio during World War II, basically. Anyway, long-winded story to get to nothing. But he had this phrase. He said, you can say anything about me, no matter how mean or how harsh, as long as it's clever enough to put in my column. I like that. Yeah. I'm like, look, if you wanna, you can be however sassy you want, as long as it's clever sassy.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna be sassy, you better not be boring. Because if you're sassy and boring, it won't work.
Hopefully I'm not boring.
So we'll talk a lot about the specific messages conveyed by this story and why I choose this stuff when we talk about, when we get into the women layer and we talk about, her blueprint and things like that. But for now, what I want you to notice is over the last little bit, and especially right now, I'm overtly qualifying her, right? I know she likes me. Now I'm showing her what type of behaviors I want from her. I'm giving her hoops to jump through so that she can impress me, and then I can be impressed by her, and we can have this sort of drama of getting to know each other and this beautiful story together, okay? So just notice that that's what's occurring. I've shifted from a lot of disqualifying to there will still be a little bit of push away and disqualify, but there will be a lot more qualifying going on because she clearly likes me and I want to kind of bring us together.
Hopefully. You said hopefully?
I said hopefully. I just, I mean, you seem alright so far, but I only know you a little bit.
I'm not boring.
Okay.
Let's see.
What I was gonna say.
I was about to say something.
Hold on.
No, you can go.
I have the right of way.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I was gonna say is you have like the most adorable expressions.
Yeah.
Right before you start talking and right after you finish talking. Like yeah. The after you finish one is my favorite because it's like you just gave like a book report or something like that, and you like look over the teacher like, teacher, was that good?
Was that good?
Was that okay? Do you approve?
Approval. I seek approval.
A little bit. Again, we'll go deeper on this in the other layers, but if I have put out the frame that she's seeking approval and she's agreed that she's seeking approval, she's interacting with me right now. So the frame is she's actively seeking my approval. That's a pretty good spot to be in on a date, right? If she's seeking my approval, who has value, me or her, right? Who's leading, me or her, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? It's this close to her admitting she really likes me, almost as like a verbal, logical thing, right? That's a very good place to be on a date.
What's up? Learning about myself.
That's cute though.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's very, there should be a word for like little kiddish. I don't know a word for that. Like, cause any word I can think of that sounds that way, it sounds negative, which it's not. Like if I said immature, that sounds negative. Pure? Yes, it's very pure. That's what I was thinking of.
Not the word, but it's like the closest thing to children. Pure.
I almost want to say like precocious. It's not quite right, but it's like, yeah, no.
Halfway there.
Halfway,
Halfway there. We're done. Need another drink. I actually hate those cherries.
Do you really?
Yeah, I hate those cherries.
I think you're about the first person I've ever met that hates them, but fair enough.
Yeah, I like the red cherries. Those are like something else.
Like Bing cherries? Like Bing cherries?
I guess. Is that the name of it? It's like the dark red ones.
The ones you buy in the supermarket with pits in them and you eat around the pit? Yeah, it's Bing cherries, usually.
Bing?
Bing, B-I-N-G.
Okay.
These are like maraschino cherries?
Yeah. My family, they soak those in moonshine and like serve them at every single cookout that we have, or like party or something. And like people like just like eat them and get fucked up.
That's awesome.
They're so strong and nasty.
Well, those are also like completely doused in alcohol. It might be a little different when they're not like completely soaked in it.
Let me see. I feel like they do them for at least like 6 months. Yeah.
So yeah, it's basically at that point more alcohol than cherry.
Definitely more alcohol than cherry. Like you open it and you like smell moonshine. So gross. Wow. You're thinking.
Just listening.
No, you're thinking. What are you thinking?
I was thinking how adorable that look you just gave me was, and how it's similar to the look I used to have when I was a kid and I wanted to like cute my way out of trouble. It's the teacher, I didn't do anything. I'm shy and innocent look.
Well, when I feel like I'm in trouble, I look at you and I'm like, what? Just keep asking.
I'll keep that in mind if you ever get yourself in too much trouble.
Yeah.
I like this, by the way.
What? Oh, yeah?
Little detail.
Little detail.
Makes your shirt go, a little more sexy, a little less boring. It's good.
Yeah. I mean, it's plain, all black, long sleeve. I pulled the sleeves up. Throw a scarf around my neck. And I'm good.
Gosh. Oh, man. Okay.
This isn't really like... I dress way better than this. To be honest. But this morning I was just like, I was just gonna throw everything on and
I told you, just do you. Don't try and be perfect. Just said, just do you. Don't try and be perfect. It's better this way. I mean, what if like you put your like most perfect foot forward and like we weren't naturally designed to like each other and I liked you because you were just, you know, and then it just turns out we both get disappointed later. Who wants that?
No one.
So yeah, just please don't disappoint me. Okay?
I'm not trying to be perfect.
You are a little bit.
No.
A little bit.
No. Not even a little bit.
Really?
Yeah.
I do like that. Although it's better. That's better. So like when it's
like my
you like does that look like hey, does that not like just bother you though when it's like you're like viewing the world through one eye?
No, but it's like my eyes are here.
Okay.
I can see you.
I used to have like long hair, and I know that I always like hated that when I was.
How long was your hair? Really?
At one point, yeah.
Did you do the ponytail?
Only in the gym sometimes when I needed to, but no, wore it down. Yeah, I never did it across my face though. I did it like kind of like tapered back, but like long in the whatever, and then like falling all like fluffy and beautiful.
Does Thor have long hair?
Thor, yeah, okay.
Okay. Was it like that?
Kind of ish actually. Although you know, I think I'm pretty attractive. I'm not that attractive. All right, like don't get any idea. I know. Like you're like picturing me all like you know sexy and naked. It's just like don't even go. I'm just Todd. I'm not Thor. I'm just Todd. I'm just some cute white boy from Colorado. That's as far as it goes.
Oh, you're from Colorado?
I am.
Okay. I have a girlfriend. My family has like a place there. So pretty. So nice.
It is nice. Have you been?
No.
I'm gonna just not ask you these questions. Whenever you say a place, I'll be like, have you been? I just don't.
I've been nowhere. I've been to Cali.
Okay, that's somewhere. It's the other side of the country. It's far away. Okay.
All on the East Coast. Every single state. Don't have any freedom.
So I'm not making any promises. So I just met you. If we hang out, you're gonna go places. Okay.
We're gonna go places.
I don't mean like in some kind of deep like metaphorical like us. I just meant like physically we'll try like because I travel a lot. So you're gonna have to. So you'll deal with it.
I'll have to call out sick.
We'll figure it out. We'll come up with a creative hook. You'll do like some Ferris Bueller's Day Off shit and whatnot. It'll be good.
Bad liar.
Either that or we'll just get you like working for yourself. Whatever.
Working for myself.
Well, I'll entrepreneur you yet.
I do plan on launching.
That is one of the things you told me that I didn't know May, but like one of the things you told me that actually like impressed me a little bit. I was like, oh, silly little ditzy, funny girl. But then like I was like, this girl's actually like you know, kind of legit. Like a bit of a dreamer.
Ditzy, funny girl. Ditzy. Oh,
you have to take into account the context in which I met you. All right, it's not like I met you at a banking convention.
No, you didn't.
So you know.
Okay.
You had to overcome stereotypes.
I get ditzy when I'm drunk.
I mean, you were cute. Obviously, I didn't hate you. If I hated you, I wouldn't have talked to you for you know a fraction as long as I have.
Yeah.
But no, that was one of the first things that actually like I was like, okay, this girl's maybe like. Yeah. I like people with ambition.
I have goals.
Like. I would prefer, and this is funny, so I lived in LA for a while. And in LA, there's all kinds of people with like crazy pipe dreams that'll never come true, right? But that said, I would prefer to hang out with someone. So again, I'll get into exactly why I choose these things as the criteria that I want her to fit. Mostly in this case, it's actually personal preference, but there are some women-related reasons. But again, notice that I'm showing her my value system. I'm showing her what I like in a girl. Because she wants to impress me. She's already openly admitted she's approval seeking towards me, right? I mean, not completely openly, but she is. She's seeking my approval very strongly. But I have to show her what behaviors I'm going to approve of so that she knows what hoops she can jump through. And specifically, I want to like train her, as much as train is a kind of politically incorrect word here, but I do want to train her to be the relationship I want, whether that's for a one-night stand or a girlfriend or whatever. I have to show her the path that I want her to walk. Otherwise, how's she supposed to know? It's kind of like, I don't know, if you're teaching a girl how to please you sexually, you have to tell her what feels good to you, otherwise she won't know exactly how to do it, right? It's the same thing. I'm telling her what feels good to me in a relationship so she knows how to please me. And the desire is already there, so she's going to execute on it. That has a dream that'll never happen, then hang out with someone who's like forgotten how to dream.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I get it.
Yeah. And
that's why my surroundings have changed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I have a very, very small circle.
Should I like look through your hand? You have a circle of one.
Circle of one.
It's not a circle.
No,
that's like geometry. That's a point.
Well, stop. No, I'm kidding. I mean, I only have like, I would say 3 girlfriends that I'm like really, really close to. That's it. Yeah. That I would tell like anything to. That's it.
Would you get along better with guys or girls?
I would say guys. I don't know. I feel like just because I used to be like a little tomboy girl, I connect more with guys than I do with girls. Like, I'm not the drama type of person, so I don't really like girls.
Fair enough.
They're a pain in the ass. Do you watch sports? Which sports?
I'm surprised you can see me like looking that way. You have good peripheral vision.
Yeah, I do.
I'm like nodding. I'm like, she's not even looking at me. I'll just keep nodding until she sees. That sport, a lot.
Soccer.
I played that sport very, very, very seriously for a while.
Yeah.
So yeah, like when I was 5 years old, I decided I want to play professionally. And you know how like every kid says that to their parents, like, Daddy, I want to be in the major leagues.
Are you listening? God, thank you, decision.
You know what we look like right now? We look like the couple that's been like married for 10 years and is like so tired of each other, they're just on their phones the whole time.
It's gonna. I can't find it. Oh my god.
Oh man.
That's true. The first one I got
I feel like, but these are just boys.
Like, yeah.
Oh.
Dear Diary, I met this girl and she seemed like she was really sweet and cute and smart and had her act together. And then I realized the smart and had her act together part was completely off base. But,
It's the drink.
yeah,
I am smart.
I totally believe it. So here she was trying to find something on her phone as part of the conversation. She did some dumb thing. And so I'm making fun of her for it. So first of all, notice that I am making fun of her for it. Second thing to notice, I was making fun of her, and as I made fun of her verbally, like pushed her away verbally, I used that as an excuse to escalate. I started running my hand through her hair, pulling her hair, that kind of stuff. I know she likes me, and what I did is essentially the push-pull, right? So because I'm pushing her away as I do it, it's not perceived as strong of a thing, and also because of the push away, she wants my validation, so me touching her feels particularly good to her, right? It's this same phenomenon I've mentioned many, many times throughout these breakdowns of disqualifying as you escalate, or pushing away as you escalate. So that's all very, very good. Also, the little thing she did hitting me, that's always a good sign. Anytime a girl's hitting you, great sign. I mean, not punching you in the face, but like the whole playful hitting, great sign. While you're doing that, would you like another drink? Because I don't think there's going to be a more opportune, while you're done while you're busy looking for yourself, do you want me to, because I don't think there's going to be a more opportune time for me to get a drink without it disturbing our conversation. Since you're going to be on there for 10 more minutes finding yourself.
No, I'm not. I'm not going to be on here for 10 minutes. I'm just wondering why this is
straight.
athletics.
So gin and tonic then? All right.
I'll be off when you get back.
We'll
not
see.
kidding.
I'll race you. Okay. Would you say you had it harder than average, average, or easier than average growing up?
I'll say average.
Is that a cop out?
I would say average. Yeah.
Okay.
Why? Do you think it's something different?
No, I was just curious.
Yeah.
If I had an answer to the question, I wouldn't ask it. I'd just know.
Well, some people ask anyway just to see what you're gonna say.
Yeah, they're called lawyers. Those are the people that ask questions they know the answers to.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was just curious because I was trying to assess your relative level of underdog mentality and spoiled mentality.
Do I sound spoiled?
You have a certain plucky underdogness to you, but you also do have a certain sort of like you carry yourself in a certain way that is indicative of a certain arrogance or swagger. That's an interesting combination. So that's why I asked.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I was trying to see if one or the other of those was
If one outweighed the other.
no, if one was an obvious outgrowth of like, or if you identified really strongly one way.
No.
So I always identified as like,
Average.
I was very lucky. Not that like things were given to me, but I was very lucky to be born with a lot of talent and with really, really good parents. And then like, I think what I got in life I earned beyond that, but I just had such a big head start that it was like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It made sense.
Good for you.
Thanks, Mom. Anyway,
Good mom.
you.
Do I sound like a mom?
No, you sounded like a guidance counselor.
A guidance counselor. Oh gosh.
Are you gonna tell me like what to do with my life to make myself happy and better?
No. I think you know that by now.
Think I'm doing all right?
Yeah.
And you?
I'm doing okay. Yeah, I'm doing okay. I think I'm doing okay. But you're thinking. I can tell.
I was thinking,
looking at you.
I like the modesty
What? I'm
combined.
modest?
The modesty combined with the look that immediately followed the modesty, which was so cocky.
Cocky. I'm not cocky.
It was somehow cocky and intimate at the same time. That's hard to do.
Is it?
It is. I'm impressed. So how did I know to kiss her there? All right, what was the vibe? What led me to that? Well, she was qualifying herself pretty hard, and she was like a little bit nervous, flustered, right? When she said, I think I'm doing all right, and then she like kind of hesitated and like, I think I'm doing all right. Like at that moment, she had basically given me this compliment of saying, my life is together, handled, she's very impressed with it. And then she said she thinks she's doing all right. And then she was forced by direct comparison to be a little bit flustered, a little nervous. She felt the need to justify herself. She wanted approval. She wanted validation. In that moment, I was definitely the cooler person of the two of us. And so, you know, what does she want? She wants the validation of the cooler person. She was primed for the kiss. On top of which, when I stared at her and she's reacting, you know, what? That's showing that she's kind of like frozen, flustered, reactive, right? That combination of factors is just like prime for, not just prime to be kissed, but prime so that when I kiss her, it's a reward, right? I'm rewarding her by kissing her. It's not like I'm trying to kiss her to do something to her. I'm not trying to kiss her to tick a checkbox. I'm not trying to kiss her to escalate towards sex. I'm kissing her as it's okay, you're welcome in my world, I like you, right? And the validation gap is such that like, that's very much what she's looking for and what she wants at that moment, right? So that's a kiss that progresses the interaction to more intimacy, and it's a kiss that will increase the tension and build the relationship rather than decreasing the tension and making it dull.
Are you messing up my hair?
I don't think you can.
Yes, I can. I can.
I think I think if I got it wet, it would get messed up really fast. But I think as long as it's dry, it'll stay pretty good.
My hair's curly.
I know. I can tell.
It's wavy. Actually.
You'd be genetically very strange if it wasn't. Actually, to be fair.
Pretty much. But yeah.
But as long as it stays straight, it'll stay pretty good. I think.
Yeah. You can get a little crazy.
Oh no, come on. Can you see on it? You like that? That's kind of fun to do.
I'm sure it is.
So now, I've already done an escalation more intimate, technically, than this. By making out with her, I've already done something more intimate than pulling her hair. So I know I'm probably going to be okay to pull her hair, but what am I doing? I'm asking her, does that feel good, right? But like, hopefully in a sense, not like, does that feel good? But like, in a sense, does that feel good, right? And what I want to hear is like a yes. That's the ideal, because now instead of it being that she emotionally has agreed that she likes me touching her, now she's logically agreed to it. And getting that logical commitment, that decision, again, I talk about that a lot when we talk about hooking and opening mastery, right? Getting that decision is the difference between intermediate and advanced game. It's the difference between pushing, and getting the girl to chase you. When she logically decides she likes you, it fundamentally changes the interaction. So that's what I'm trying to do, is get her to make those logical commitments, logical concessions now. I like the reaction.
Guys.
I'm sorry to be so common.
They love to pull hair.
They love to pull hair.
You would think girls would like to pull hair more than guys.
Well, guys don't have much hair to pull usually. I will say when my hair was long, I certainly liked a little pull here and again.
You can pull your hair.
Yeah, you can give me a, like, unfortunately I got it cut recently. Before you could really pull it.
Just
Now
like
you can
buzz
kind
in
of
the
pull
back?
it. Not like buzz, but it's like a little bit like, it's fairly short.
Yeah.
Yeah, give it a week or two. I'll give you something to hang on to. But not just yet.
Very, very cocky, Todd.
Who, me? I was just talking about my hair. I don't know what you're talking about. So that's a great example of me sexualizing the conversation in a way that I didn't sexualize it directly. I sexualized it by implication, like very strongly sexual, but by implication. And that way when she calls me out on it, I'm not the one with the dirty mind, she is, right? I don't know. I was just talking about hair. I don't know what you're talking about, right? So it's a way to stay a step ahead. It's a way to bring up that sexuality into the conversation, but in a way that's low risk. I get a straightforward question, I give a straightforward answer.
Okay. Well, that's good. Straightforward is good.
For the most part. What are you most competitive at?
I don't know. I think it depends. I think it depends on the person and the event. Whatever is going on. I always want to be best dressed, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right now I'm laughing, but it's okay. It's a very casual. But your eyebrows, you're doing the eyebrow thing.
You say so.
You did. You were just like,
Could you say that again, just the way you just did it?
did.
I don't know if I can even hit that note.
Yeah, my voice gets a little squeaky. My old roommate, she would always say, every time when you would get like really happy or you would get like drunk or whatever or tipsy, your voice goes from here to here. It gets really squeaky.
Like Mickey Mouse. Or I guess Minnie Mouse. Let's give you the female mouse. We'll give you the female mouse.
Yeah. I don't feel like Mickey his voice doesn't get high. Not that high.
As guys go, yeah. I mean, he walks around looking. It sounds like he got kicked in the balls all the time. Like he's up there.
So, but not as high.
Not as high as Minnie. Minnie's even higher.
I feel like, yeah.
I wish I could do a Mickey Mouse voice, but I'm kind of glad I can't. To be fair.
I don't think I can do it either, so it's okay. No.
So now I want you to notice that we've backed off from the sexuality, right? It's not just sexual. It was very sexual there for a little bit. Now it's going to go back to casual. We're going to get to know each other, relax. no rush, no hurry, right? Now, I know she likes me. So now I'm going to treat it a lot the same way as I would if she was already my girlfriend, which is the sex is just like it's a foregone conclusion. It's probably going to happen. I'm going to enjoy the time between now and then, and I'm going to take my time and be patient. By rushing, I could mess this up. At this point, as long as I just like continue being me, continue escalating very slowly and gradually, don't rush it, and I'm able to structure a way to get her back to my room, like things are going to go well, right? Everything's in place for it to go well. But if I start taking crazy risks and doing stupid stuff or trying to over-escalate, I could mess up. One of my major fundamental premises in my game is do not lose from a winning position. Once you're winning, be very consistent, be very like dot all your I's, cross all your T's, be meticulous about making sure you get across the finish line. Je ne sais. As they say in French. Je ne sais?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's French for I don't know.
It kind of sounds like yo no sé.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
It's similar.
I thought that's what it was, but I thought I'd ask before I make myself look stupid.
Have you heard, here's a fashion term for you, je ne sais quoi? Have you heard that?
Yes. But I don't know what it means.
You know what that means?
No.
Oh, woman, I'm gonna give you like, I'm gonna My Fair Lady you, basically. Do you know what that means? You have any idea what that means? No.
I'm gonna My Fair Lady you, whatever you just said.
Yeah, you have any idea what that means? No? Okay, so My Fair Lady is a play from like way back in the day.
A play, okay.
It's a play. Yeah. It was made into a movie, but it's a play originally.
Uh-huh.
Premise of the play is this. There's these two guys and they're like linguists. They're like language experts. And they make a bet basically. This one guy's, his contention is that everything, your success in life is all about how you talk and present yourself. That's it. Right? If you talk and present yourself the right way, you'll be treated a certain way, you'll get things in life. Right? And so he start off the movie by saying like he goes around to everybody and he can tell them within like 3 blocks where they grew up based on how they talk, because he's just like, he knows the language and ins and outs and whatnot. So he makes a bet with the other linguist that he can take this like girl who's essentially like some combination of like beggar / flower sales girl on the street and can like pass her off in royal court as royalty. Yeah. Within like 6 months or something like that, right? And they do it all by like teaching her to talk and teaching her like how to etiquette and carriage and all that kind of stuff.
I feel like there's been a movie and I've seen this.
There's probably been like follow-up movies of it.
Yeah.
Like for example, the movie like She's All That is kind of an offshoot of My Fair Lady in a way. Right? It's like turn the nerdy girl cool. In any case, I'll teach you the like little French expressions that are gonna make you seem classy.
Make me super classy.
Super classy. So classy. So the first one you should learn though, which is je ne sais quoi, because it's actually something that I thought when I met you. And this is probably gonna be a really like severe compliment, but deal with it, okay? So je ne sais quoi means I don't know what. Literally it means I don't know what. Okay? But the way it's used, they say that person has that certain je ne sais quoi. It means they have that certain like special characteristic.
But you don't know what it is?
Yeah, that certain intangible quality you can't put your finger on that sets them apart in a good way. This is je ne sais quoi.
Okay.
So when I met you, I thought you were ditzy and silly and kind of whatever. But I was like, she has a little je ne sais quoi about her.
Okay.
If a Russian girl calls a guy like Zaychik, it means like bunny, but it means like in like a very endearing like bunny I would sleep with. It's weird.
God.
I don't understand. But anyway, so as I said, even to her, that is a pretty severe compliment. It's a pretty big compliment. But again, she already likes me a lot, so I want to qualify her. And interestingly enough, even as I gave it to her, I said, ditzy and this and that and the other. So I gave a little bit of a push-pull with it. But I'm giving her pretty big compliments now. The reason is she obviously likes me a lot, and she obviously thinks of me as like cooler than her, have my life more together than her, that kind of stuff. That vibe is definitely present. So I want to like show her that she's a little bit special too, show her that she has like access to my value, and show her that I'm not just like going to use her for her body and then like throw away that kind of stuff. So I really do want to build comfort, and the biggest part of comfort is qualification. I dated a Russian German girl for a few years.
Yeah.
So that's what, like I won't get into it. At certain times she would say "I lublю" and "Zaychik." Just say.
So you were a bunny.
I'd appreciate it if you didn't imagine me in bed right now. Given the pause there, I don't think she wasn't. Does that make sense? Like, she's obviously thinking of me in bed. And that is the point. The whole point of telling this story was to make her imagine having sex with me without me actually bringing it up, which is exactly what I did. And if anything, I told her not to think of me in bed. And so if anything, it seems like she's just having these thoughts of her own accord. The thoughts are just popping up, like she can't help thinking about having sex with me, which is the mind frame I want her in. I want her in the mind frame that she's thinking about having sex with me, but it's because I'm so sexy, not because I brought it up or I'm trying to be pushy in any way, shape, or form. I can tell by your blushing that you weren't. Are you hiding your face right now?
A little bit. Because you said I was blushing. I don't think I was.
Okay. I mean, it's hard to tell. I don't think your skin tone changes that much when you blush, but I can tell from the expression.
No, it may. A little bit.
A little bit, but it's not exactly the best lighting either.
No, it's not.
It'd be better if I was here, I could tell by like temperature. I need to get a little flush and like warm. You do feel warm.
Am I?
A little bit.
I'm a warm-hearted person. What? That look.
What look?
The look you're giving me. It's like you're thinking something.
What would you like me to be thinking?
I just want to know what you're thinking.
Yes, I am looking at her like I'm thinking something. I'm looking at her like I'm aroused and I'm thinking about sex. And by doing that, it makes her look at me, it makes her aroused and think about sex. And then she thinks I must be thinking that, but she's not sure that it's coming from me or coming from her. And she gets turned on and she thinks it's, her fault, not mine, et cetera, et cetera. There's a lot of really, really good things coming here. Also, note that I'm communicating a lot through just my looks, right? Just looking at her, eye contact, that kind of stuff. You don't have to talk that much. She already likes me. And understand that a lot of attraction is pre-verbal. A lot of attraction is animalistic. And so a lot of these things that are very attractive, a lot of these things that create sexual tension can be conveyed in non-verbal ways. I was thinking that they're kind of adorable when you get flustered.
Am I?
Adorable or flustered?
Both.
Maybe a little bit of both.
Yeah?
Maybe.
I love moving my hair out of my face. I like it in my face. Oh, you're just... So, with you traveling, like how long are you in the States?
Like in the States as like an entire country, or how long am I in any city I travel to, or what do you mean?
Like in New York.
It depends. During the summer I traveled a lot. During the winter I'm not going to travel as much because places aren't as hospitable, so I don't want to go to them. I would say typically I'm in New York something like 2.5 weeks out of the month, and then like traveling a week and a half out of the month, something like that.
Oh, okay.
Usually, I mean, I had some lengthy spells recently, but just on average. This is what we call a buying question, right? Why does she care how long I'm in New York? It's because she wants something with me, right? So it's a very, very clear indicator. She's thinking about a future with us together. Now, that's good and bad, right? It's good in the sense that it shows she's clearly bought in, and she's decided she likes me, not just on a subconscious kind of emotional level, but she's rationally decided logically that she likes me and that she wants something with me. So that's very positive. The downside is that it is a little bit relationship framey, right? It is a little bit, if she wants me around a lot, that is a relationship frame, not like a casual hookup frame. So I do have to be careful with that. However, she already knows I travel a lot, and she already knows I'm not there full time. So I already have that kind of going for me. So I don't have to play super, super, super playerish. I just have to what I ideally wanted to tell her is that I'm gone a lot, and so she's going to have to deal with that. But at the same time, I want to give her that I'm there a lot, so there's a ray of hope. right? So I kind of want a balanced answer to this, so that it's not so completely out of reach that she feels like, oh, she's just going to be like a one-night stand, that's all it could ever be. On the other hand, I don't want her to think we're boyfriend and girlfriend. I want her to think it'll be fun if it's a one-off. It'll be an amazing one-night stand if it ends up being that, but there's also the possibility of more. That's the perfect frame for this type of a scenario.
I guess in order to like hit the head on the nail, you have to
Hit the what?
head on the nail.
I mean, I guess that's technically correct. You usually said the other
it?
way. It's usually nail on the head.
Oh, nail.
It's still. You can tell by her reaction to being flustered and how physical she got. She's feeling very physically comfortable with me. She's feeling very flustered. She's feeling very like, she's having a great time. She's really, really enjoying my company. She's feeling slightly inferior in a way, but not in a way that's like so bad, right? Not in a negative way. Not in a way where she feels like less of a person or less cool than she normally does, but in a way that she just feels like she's around someone who's more cool than she's used to, right? And this is how games should be. It shouldn't be like you gain value on the girl by bringing her down. You gain value on the girl by bringing her up, but by conveying that you're even more up, right? And you can see how much fun the interaction is for her, how much she's enjoying herself, even with this value gap. Because it's not a value gap, again, created on her being less. It's a value gap created on me being more and me giving her access to more. Correct. I mean, it is the head of the nail you're hitting, so it's not wrong. It's just unusual.
That's funny. Oh my god. I'm gonna laugh about this later. Don't laugh at me.
I'm not laughing. I am laughing near you.
Near me. I said head on the nail.
You did.
I'm so stupid.
Not stupid.
Silly. What's in here?
It's the $1 million question. What's through the red door?
Yeah.
Are you a curious
Red
person?
door.
Are you an innately curious person?
Somewhat, yes.
Are you an innately trusting or distrusting person? So these are screening questions and seeding questions for a poll. Are you a curious person or are you a trusting person? If she's curious and trusting, there's a good chance I will be able to pull her based on the traits of her being curious and trusting. So these are I'm screening to see what level of likelihood there is for her to be down to pull, how much work I'm gonna have to put in, how hard I'm gonna have to seed it, that kind of stuff.
I don't think I'm trusting.
Good to know.
I would hope so.
Are you a trustworthy person?
Yes.
So if at some point, not right now, but at some point, like maybe later this evening or in the future, I felt as though I wanted to like open up to you and like tell you about myself, and you'd be a worthy recipient of such information and trustworthy.
Lock it in.
Lock it in.
Yes.
Interesting.
The best people have small circles. I have a small
You have like a circle of one.
circle of one. No, a circle of 4. They're my girlfriends.
Sweet, that's called a square.
No.
I'm sorry.
Points on a circle.
I'm pretty sure you can't play connect the dots with 4 points and make a circle.
You can't. But,
But-
I mean, if you don't use straight line.
So I didn't stop this to teach you geometry, or to teach her geometry really, but the point I'm going to make is that I seeded the poll already, right? I checked to see if she'd be down for making plans, and she seemed pretty good and enthusiastic, and if anything, went out of her way to show me that she is trustworthy and is, would be a good candidate for getting to know more, etc., right? So at least in a very vague sense, she's kind of down for an adventure, down for the plans. Now, I'm not going to like push for it right now. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to seed it a little further, etc. But I've gotten very good indicators that she is pretty on for going somewhere, doing something.
You have to be arched a little bit.
So if you're a little crooked, you can pull it off?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's not good. Crooked Hillary. No, well, I'm just
Oh, wow, all right.
No, you can't be crooked. Arched. Where's the lady is your room?
I feel like it's probably... No, that's employees only. It might be one of those two, or it might be in the lobby. I'm not sure.
I don't think it's employees. So that says employees. The next one says employees, and then the other one has like a red light behind it.
Yeah, don't go in the red light room. I've been to Amsterdam. That shit's like, that ain't for you.
What's in the red room?
In Amsterdam, they have the red light district. That's where like that's where like the legalized prostitution happens. So like all the girls are in like little red rooms with like their red lit backgrounds.
Oh.
So that's why I said don't go in the anyway.
Yeah. No. Good to know though.
I would say check the lobby or yeah, check the lobby. It's your best bet. Oh, you trust me. I like this.
Should I take it with me?
You can trust me. I have more to lose than to gain.
More to lose than to gain. Okay.
So her leaving her purse with me is a massively good sign, right? She obviously likes me. The biggest reason why we wouldn't have sex right now would be if she didn't trust me to go to my room with me or didn't trust me in some way. Her leaving her purse with me shows a lot of trust, right? And then what I said here, I have more to lose than to gain. She thought about that for a second and was really, really happy about it. And I think, A, it makes sense in terms of the purse thing, but B, she thought about it, and this is how I wanted her to think about it, in terms of going back to my room, whatever, having sex, that kind of stuff. Because she views me as a very high status guy. And as a very high status guy, having sex with her, if she's, cool, but like not on the same status level as me, I do have more to lose than to gain, right? And so I think she realized that. She's like, oh shit, he has more to lose than to gain. He can't really take advantage of me, right? It doesn't make sense for him to be taking advantage of me. And she's massively happy about that, right? Because it's just like, it like relieved one of her biggest concerns regarding sex, which clearly is something she's pretty into and pretty, intrigued by and interested in at this point.
This lotion smells good.
Is it yours or is it like what was in the bathroom?
It's in the bathroom.
Is it?
It smells like lemons or lemongrass or something. I should have read it.
Okay. Fair enough.
Did you say awkward?
I said fair enough. Did you say awkward? Is that what you said?
I thought that's what you said.
No.
You were like awkward. Fair enough.
I said okay, fair enough. But,
Oh, okay.
fair enough. I don't think you'll ever really hear me say that. Awkward. Yeah, because I don't usually feel awkward about things. Does that make sense?
Good.
I'm usually pretty like, whatever I did was.
It's either this or this.
Well, it's like, A, whatever happened, it's in the past, but B, whatever I did was probably the best I knew to do at the time, so let's just go with it. Is that fair?
Yes.
There's one place I would take you, but it's like, I want to know you better first, kind of. It's the way, like, it was actually I was surprised to find it. It's kind of like,
Where is it?
it's close, but how do I know I can trust you? How do I know you won't steal my kidneys and sell them on the black market or something?
I leave. Girls don't leave their phones anywhere.
Well, you left your purse too, which is
Yeah.
like a whole other that just means
My
you.
life is in there.
I mean,
No,
not
it's
that.
not. Well, a little bit.
If I had run off with that, you have what? Your iPhone and then like credit cards and stuff. So you'd have the hassle of reporting your credit card stolen and dealing with it.
Would you take my phone or would you take my bag?
Bag.
Huh?
Bag. I'd wrap it in my jacket so it doesn't look like I'm a man carrying a bag.
I mean, I'm sorry. Would you take my purse or my work bag?
Oh shit. I wouldn't actually. To be fair, I didn't even realize that was down there, so it would have been the top one. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's good that I can text from my computer.
That was sad. I don't think you're like I said. I have far more to lose than to gain. That's the thing is like. Okay, so here's something crazy. Like I don't know what this will make you think about me or not, but whatever. So I've always loved like movies with a little bit of like shadiness to them, like a little bit of like nefarious, live by your wits, con artist, poker bluff, those kind of movies, right? Because like there's something very cool about like Ocean's 11 type movies or like older movie like The Sting or something like that. You're like, I don't know, Catch Me If You Can. Any of those like.
Oh, Catch Me If You Can. I know that one.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. So.
Like with Leonardo. Like,
Yeah. Oh yeah. You're like, oh, Leo's in it. I got that shit. All right. I'm gonna go to the restroom. I have a question for you before I go, which is, when I return, you want to do another drink here, or I can take you somewhere else? But do I trust you?
Do you trust me? I don't know. That's up to you.
I'll think about it.
Think about it.
You're very cute though. I'll be back. So do you see how I structured that so that if she goes with me, it's a reward. If she goes with me, she earned it, right? She's not even sure that she's invited yet. And when she gets invited, she'll be happy she was invited, and then she'll want to go with, right? As opposed to, hey, do you want to come back to my room? She's like, oh, what, your room? I don't know about that. I don't know, blah, blah, right? Instead, it's this mystery, adventure, cool thing she hopes to be invited to. Much, much, much better framing around it.
Why is it saying that 3 times? I hate Gmail.
Hi. That's the message I come back to is I hate Gmail.
Well, at least I don't hate you.
Yeah, whatever. If you ever did hate me, I'd be okay with it. You can love me, you can hate me. Just don't be like blasé about me. Promise never to be ambivalent about me. Deal?
Deal. You don't want to shake on
You
it?
wanna like shake hands, like all businessy?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's okay. Have you thought about your... I don't even know what you were thinking about. Oh, taking me to wherever this secret place is.
See, now it was so much suspense and so much that she wanted it that she brought up going somewhere with me in conversation. So I seeded it so well that now she's bringing it up. Now it's not even my idea. Now she's like, oh yeah, what about that thing? I'm like, oh yeah, that, okay, fine, I guess we could, whatever, right? It's in such a better frame now than if in a minute. That's another, there's a good
I just want to
word.
put my jacket on. I'm so cold.
There's another French word for you.
What?
Denouement. Yeah, but I think denouement is the correct French pronunciation.
Moi.
Moi, like M-O-I. Moi. I have to grab my check. Give me a second. Yeah. Well, I feel like I have yet to see like the bottom half of your face.
Half of my face?
Like the bottom. There you go. I mean, I know I have, but like you keep going like under the.
It's because I like
like freezing?
being like,
Snuggled up.
yeah.
Okay, that's good. I mean,
I think
if you're gonna know someone in something of an intimate capacity in New York in the winter, it's good if they like to snuggle up, right?
that's right.
It's kind of important in this city.
Yeah.
This ain't Miami.
Are you ready?
Ready as I'll be.
My work bag. I hate carrying this.
Yeah, you like feel all heavy and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and like weird random shit. And so this falls in the category of weird random. Check this out.
Oh.
No, I know you're thinking. Just check this out. Come on. We're not going here. We're going here. Because this it was a fucking total surprise to me, and it's kind of awesome. Check this out. How cool and random. I hope there's a light out here actually. But how cool and random. Comes back to my room again. I talk the entire way back just so it doesn't make her nervous, etc. get into the room. And it actually turned out, the reason that I took her straight back to the room and the reason it was a pretty easy pull, it turns out, I didn't even know this when I booked the room, but I had like a little balcony area, which was amazing. So when I said we're not going here, we're going here, I actually took her through the room out onto the balcony. We hung out there, had some wine from the minibar. I gave her one of the robes from like the closet, and it was a nice, slow, good escalation. Really, really just like by the book, exactly how you would expect and how you would want a pull to go down. So pretty good, kind of very by the book, but very, very good date from start to finish.